So, Hello everyone. This is your host Piyush Bhatnagar, and I welcome you all to Value First Masterclass. Today we have Soumya Dixit, Product Manager at Value First. Welcome to the masterclass, Soumya.
Thanks, Piyush. Thanks for having me and giving this platform where I can share my experience and knowledge. Thank you.
So let's straight jump on to the topic. Today we are going to talk about SMS and how SMS as a channel helps in scaling up customer engagement.
Right.
So to start with, my first question to you, Soumya, is that why should a business invest in SMS marketing?
Okay. So, if I talk about SMS, first I would like to tell everyone and just highlight that SMS has really completed 30 years in the industry. So, it's like there since 30 years. So, that's one core reason to have SMS. Like nothing has been changed since 1992 much in terms of the fundamentals of the SMS. It's just like, marketers and everybody is becoming more innovative and stitching all the solutions, whether that's delivery portion or customer service or any other flow, let's say your bookings or reservations through the SMS. Why? Because SMS is like, immediate, a direct marketing kind of option which this particular channel provides. All the users remain onto their devices most of the time active, since this is also one data post pandemic, right? So anytime you can just send one SMS and tap onto the customers, attention. Whereas for the other channels like emails or ads, somebody has to go onto the certain website, or might be somebody has to open the email or listen to the voice call, then they reach out there, right? So that simplicity of the SMS remains same from last 30 years. It's now we are blessed with good marketers and the product marketing and managers that we are using it so well. If I talk about in terms of the some of the USPs, so that's the cost effectiveness is also one reason being, like that's the very simple channel in terms of cost also. If we imagine cost for some print media or some advertising campaign or might be for email, then we have to involve developers there. We have to get the certain HTML pages ready, we have to get some print media ready. For that, a lot of time and efforts in terms of resources has been spent. But SMS, it's very simple. You just build a great content in 160 characters and send out to bulk, right? And if we talk about in terms of data, so there's already like 761 million smartphone users available in the India, and which is already estimated to be around somewhere 966 million by 2023. So imagine such a good number, such a vast base a marketer have in hand, a business have in hand to reach out to the customers. It's just somebody has to find the right path, right message at right time to trigger. And
Right.
also, yeah, and one more point for SMS in terms of other channels, other advertising companies, and the logics is like users are also very receptive towards the this particular communication channel. It's not just businesses who prefer because of cost or because of immediate deliveries, but user also prefer that. So the reception of the SMS is very very nice. Yeah.
Right. So, for a business which is new in the market, right? How to start? How does the business start doing SMS marketing?
Okay, so if any of the brand, any SME or enterprise want to do that, so what first they have to do, they have to find out the core of the communication, which is the audience. So I'll suggest them to build a good subscriber base, not through the different sources, but through the authentic sources. They can have take good opt-ins to the marketing campaigns. For that, they can use other channels to build that particular subscriber base. Because that will help to solve all the marketing SMS puzzle with the customers and the market. So subscribers is the one. If I talk about second, then I'll talk about the regulatory piece, because nobody can stay and do the things without knowing that particular environment and having knowledge of it. So whatever your country is, whatever your region is, you must understand the legal and the compliance and the authority issues, and you must have all that knowledge. So one should be familiar with it, try to understand that word, and then they can pick their own space, what all is suitable for them and what not. So once done with subscriber and let's done with the authority part, legal part, they can move on to, now how to trigger. Now they are ready, they are compliant to it, how to do it, right? So they can find some good CPaaS providers. It could be value first also, right? So a good CPaaS provider is required so that they can, trigger the campaign. They can do the campaigns. No, none of the business can have, panels built around it. So that's why how service provider comes into a picture. So they can give you different APIs which you can integrate in your environment. They can give you a CPaaS portal so you can do bulk campaigns, you get analytics there. So every time you choose a provider, I'll suggest talk about the TPS, talk about the your goals with them, like what kind of deliveries you are looking for, whether that will be a very quick OTP delivery or that will be a normal route delivery what you want. You should talk about them about analytics, what are your expectations, and then map those CPaaS providers with your objectives and goals. So once you are done with the CPaaS providers, you have chosen the one. Now the significant thing come into picture, which is like your text, which you actually want, because text will do magic for the brand if you do it, format it in the right manner. So that's one significant step which where everybody, whether that's strategy or a product marketing or a manager team of any business, should sit together and strategize, because we have to pass on a very informative message in just 160 characters. That's both pros and cons of the SMS, because you don't have any media to speak, you don't have any button to go to the next action. So there are few steps which I'll suggest while formatting a text so one can take care of it. So if I'll start with, so for me, one is like think about the value. Before you imagine pressing any button and sending a campaign, you must think about what this particular message will be giving the value to the customer. Will it add any value to the customer inbox or the information or the update which you are trying to give to them, right? So one should be very careful, like there should not be any junk or there should not be just a communication sent to the customer to have the engagement, because that really doesn't work. So one should think about the value, the process or the step at which you are triggering a SMS. That should be very thoughtful. Second is, don't be very, very much on the grammar piece. Don't think much about grammar. Think about the clear objective. There should be a clarity of communication. It isn't like you have to do every time a very fancy word, you know or might be a very abbreviations, too much of abbreviations or capitalization, or let's say bold and text, because that doesn't create a value which you are looking for. The audience for SMS is not just Gen Z or not just educated people. The audience is like a vast audience. Everybody is there. Senior citizens, let's say Gen Z, students. So it's everybody's game, right? So we should be very clear on that piece. What message we are trying to send. That there should be a clear clarity, right? So clarity of communication is the another thing. Now the last part of how to do is like write message at right time. Because imagine if you will be sending somebody a message which is actually not required for the user. So that will be a waste of money for a marketing, and that will be a burden on the end user. So looking at the campaigns, looking at the previous campaigns, previous analytics, a brand or business has to decide. You cannot fix it on the day one, but slowly and gradually the native dashboards which will be provided to you by the CPaaS provider, you should try to tweak your message content in time, and look the investments which you are doing in terms of time, efforts and money onto your ROI sheet. So if it's not matching, still there's some gap, you have to work on that. So right time and right message gives you the best combination to deliver the best customer responses. So that's something.
Right.
And being a product manager, I'd like to add, I love weaving the SMS threads into the automations and workflows, because as per my industry experience and the customers which I'm dealing with, I found like, the SMS contents which we actually trigger through the different data points and the story points in the customer journey have much more attraction and conversion rates than the standalone SMS. Imagine if I'll be doing bulk SMS to 1 CR people, and whereas I'll be doing the SMS to people at different stages of their journey, user journey, that will create a different traction, because I think there we'll be touching the right data point for the customer. So that's something I'll suggest when somebody has to start the SMS.
Right. So, what are the ideal use cases for SMS marketing?
Okay. Whenever I think of SMS as a PM, so first thing comes in my mind is OTP. So which is like evergreen message, and which we are everybody as a user looking towards the authenticity of the message. So a lot of things evolve around it. So like every brand, every business, whether that's small, big, all the apps, everywhere OTPs are involved. Even in your deliveries, even in your shipments. So anywhere verification comes in, so OTPs are there. So that's one thing. If I talk about like vertical wise, so if I talk about banking, so banking has also evolved a lot in terms of making it digital, taking all the things to the digital level. So it's like we have OTPs there, we have credit, debit, all kind of transaction systems available. Then next comes your like UPI. Whenever you are settling any UPI as a user, you can see without the SMS verification, nothing goes to the next level. So that's also one core, functionality which everybody is using through SMS. If we talk about other sections, let's say e-commerce. So in e-commerce, it's majorly like, all the order right from your new promotions, new options available till your order confirmation, order shipping, order updates, till the time it get delivered, along with the feedback also. So the whole e-commerce journey is very, very tightly coupled with the SMS. So you get emails also, but you get SMS also. So many times if you are not in the network coverage area, it works very well for you. Like, it gives you a clear confirmation. So if I talk about other domains like finance, insurance, so there also your all onboardings of the loans, reminders, updates about any, let's say interest charges has been paid. That's also you get onto your mobile phones. So SMS is everywhere, even if you talk about edtech. So there also we have a good scope, like, all the new courses, all your scorecards, all the information which need to be shared between the parents and teachers and let's say school or the educational authorities are shared with quick updates to the SMS. So therein like everybody is involved in the world, and almost from all verticals we are getting it. Recently we have seen a lot of traction and just post pandemic in the COVID piece, in the travel and tourism, right? So a lot of things have been done around it. You get your flights, you get your booking updates, you get your even COVID certificate vaccination updates there. So I think there was also one data insight available from the industry, like post pandemic every day there is almost 15 to 20% of increase in the commercial SMS traffic. So that means every brand, every small and big brand is adopting it. Businesses are getting, more involved with the customers, doing better engagements, better retention to SMS.
Right. So, since the launch of WhatsApp promotion, has the effectiveness of SMS reduced?
Really not. As I told you, like this, I already highlighted like SMS is into the space since like last 30 years. The fundamentals are same. Nothing has changed there. If I talk about specifically why SMS, so it's like there's no data dependency for the SMS. If we talk about Google messages or let's say WhatsApp or emails, everywhere a system, a communication is data dependent. Here it should be a GSM or CDMA supported mobile number. A feature phone will also get an SMS, right? So SMS is never going to vanish, at least for next 10 20 years. It's going nowhere because that have a very strong market, and every time it's going from, every year SMS is already breaking its own boundaries, this particular communication channel. Even after having so much of digitalization, advertisement and enhancements in the engagement section, SMS has its own space. So that will always remain core. Rest things will, revolve around. So there's no direct competition between the SMS and WhatsApp. Plus, SMS is something where, rural tier 2, 3 cities people are also, very much okay with it, very receptive, and consider this as an authentic source of information. So it's easy to reach and it's very cost effective also. So that I believe as a, product manager into this industry, I believe this will always remain there. Rest will revolve around as a fallback or might be parallel channel of communication.
Right. So, as per your industry experience, what are the best practices for SMS marketing which a business can follow? Yeah.
Okay, so if I talk about it, so as a user also, not just a product manager in this industry, also as a user into the system, I feel like, keeping the permissions, the user consent up to date is the key to your building actual authentic relation with the customer, right? So like every time there should be a proper opt-in for all the businesses in the system. So you can have those opt-in logics into your, let's say, newsletters, into your sma, into your pop-ups. You can explicitly give pop-up and ask them for the consent, genuine consent, with giving the information like you will get such and such updates, right? You can have the number and the forms for the two-factor authentication also. You can, tell them clearly like for what purpose you are taking the numbers, whether you'll be giving updates or what. And not just opt-in, there should be a tightly coupled opt-out logic also built in for your SMS or any kind of communication channel you provide to the customer, right? So you, into your message, you can time to time you can ask them like if they are, if they want to continue, then they can send, let's say yes. If not, they can, do stop or opt in, opt out. Might be you can give them some link in your messages, so that every time your relation with the customer remain very authentic and you can retain them in a better manner. So this is one thing. If I talk about next, so I'll say like everybody in the market is not, end user is not that much aware, is not from the industry, so they really don't understand the headers. So the senders which we send, let's say it's ICIP, let's say it's Paytm BB or something like that. So we end users really don't understand that. So for the layman's, it's the best part that you include your brand name in the end or might be in the starting of the message. It should be there. The first thing is it clears the context, like what's the context from which party this particular message is coming. So that's very catchy. But people are easy to connect with the name itself. And second is this brings a trust relation between the brand and the customer. Okay, this is something, XYZ businesses, authenticating it, giving the authenticated, let's say, stamp to it. Okay, this is the particular message from there. Now, if I talk about, let's say, next piece, so there I will say this was all about user, like what opt-in should be there, what kind of trust building should be there. But when I talk about a business, about a marketer, what he should do, so for that purpose, what he should do is he should include some kind of call to action options in the SMS, because everything, the whole talk which we are doing today is about ROIs. It's about customer retention, engagements, new customers bringing, customer acquisition, and maintaining that funnel throughout. Correct. So for that purpose, what I'll suggest is like a brand should include CTAs, which could be some short link into the SMS so that users can directly take actions. Because as the industry and the findings says, 90% of the SMS gets open within 3 minutes, less than 3 minutes, right? So imagine if the whole action and the journey can be done in on those 3 minutes, your ROIs will have a different number. So there should be links which might take you to your website, which might take you a product buy section directly, which might help you to opt in for other channels, or might deflect to some chatbots. So those kind of links should be there for action. Brand itself can give some codes there to attract the new customers. You can give the code so that actually attracts the customer. You can give the discount code. You can give the short URLs for the customer, better customer service. I think you can give the numbers there, so one can tap onto those numbers and directly get it on the dial plan in spite of searching the number onto the web, right? So CTAs are one thing. Another thing is like I'll suggest personalization. So personalization is which everybody likes. Like if I call out you with your name, so you'll find it more uh, connected with the communication. So everybody likes it. So I think we should do it for our audience. As a business, we should always involve the first name of the user in the SMS. Let's say it could be like, for me it could be like, dear Soumya Dixit, your OTP is 123, right? Or let's say, dear Soumya, here is the new offer for you. We can also segment our data. So a lot of segmentation is required in the industry. I can see like whatever I'm getting, it's majorly looks to be a very a massy communication. It's like it's going to everybody. But the moment I get the messages from some of the brands, like I really read them. If I get like, the Soumya, this is the offer for you. So I understand, like at least they have my name with them. They must be having my persona also. So we should be very clear on the persona piece. Whatever we can do to touch the data points which actually are very attractive for the customers, so that we should do. For e-commerce and other such like MMT and Indigo, for such brands, I'll suggest, if if we can have things based on the previous purchases. So if we give them some messages, some promotions or the offers based on their previous purchase, so that will also be very helpful for them. uh, and what I can see, a lot of data attrition is there in the industry. Like data points aren't connected well. For imagine if, like, if it happens with almost everyone, like you pay your EMIs, or you pay your credit card bills or the electricity bills on time, still you get the reminder, right? So there's some data point gap in between. All the points are not connected clearly. So I think every marketer has to follow that. That's also give a some kind of better experience to the user. Imagine there's a brand A who keeps on sending the reminders irrespective of what has been already synced up into their system, like payments done. So there should not be any reminder, but people keep on getting. It's not just for the SMS channel; it's for all the channels. So one should be very authentic when doing the communication. And I think I've already taken that highlight for opt-in part. So as we are taking opt-ins from the customers, building trust journey with them, so we should be very careful with the kind of promotions which we do. So there should not be like, if I say, let's say, 7 messages are ideal in a day to a customer from one brand. So it should never be like, sending them 3 4 promotions in a day. So promotion should be very few and very far in between. All our objective as a brand, as a business, is to retain new customers, to bring in new customers, and to provide value to the existing customers, right? So we should be very careful on that piece. So these are something in terms of best practices. which I suggest. I believe there will be many more in the market, but these are the basics.
Yes. So, my last question to you is that recently we have seen changes in the DLT and TRI regulations for SMS. What's your take on the same?
So I think those changes are really good in terms of filtering the spams and all. So authority has brought these changes to bring in more transparency and clarity into the SMS world, especially in India. So that's a blockchain technology which they have brought. So therein they are trying to they have tried to link all the, let's say, resellers, all the principal entities, all the telemarketers on one platform, so that everybody is in sync and registered. So that's all about to remove the spams, to remove the unsolicited communications which are happening to the customers, and to give the end user a more ease and trust on the SMS industry. So they have brought in. So if somebody has to start, so they have to understand the regulatory, as I already mentioned, they have to be familiar with it. So they can register themselves on the DLT platforms which are being provided by various operators. It's Geo, VI, BSNL, Videocon, everybody is doing that. So they have their platforms, so you can reach out to them, you can register there as yourself as an entity. You will have one principal entity ID attached to you. Then you have to list out all your senders. So whatever senders available in India, you will be getting that. If it's already taken by someone, you cannot have that sender. So that's bring kind of centralization into the industry. Like there is a centralized library built in now. All the transactions in terms of each and every brand who's trying to send the SMS need to be logged into this particular ledger. So that's happening now. And everybody has to upload the customer consent there, so that legal action can be taken against the brand, business, or the user, or anyone tomorrow, because all the things are being logged into this blockchain platform. So everybody has to register their SMS. They have to categorize also whether that transactional, promotional, explicit or implicit. So all kind of categorization and the authenticity is being added to the system, SMS system, through this DLT. So it's not just a principal entity has to do that. We are also part of this DLT. We are also registered as a telemarketer. So Value First is already there. One can go ahead and choose the telemarketer Value First as their TM to send the SMS. So I think that's something in upgrade in terms of technology and better transparency.
Okay, thank you so much, Soumya, for sharing your experience. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. See you next time. Okay, bye bye.
Thanks, Piyush. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.